Tension prevails at the Assam-Mizoram border after the flare-up earlier this week in which 6 Assam policemen died. Central forces are guarding the disputed and sensitive patches of the interstate borders. Last evening, the Assam government issued an advisory for the people of Assam not to travel to Mizoram, saying that any threat to their personal safety cannot be accepted. The state government has also advised people from Assam, saying that people from Assam who are staying in Mizoram to exercise utmost caution. An Assam top cop has said that all vehicles coming in from Mizoram would be checked at the border for drugs. Assam has also alleged that Mizoram government has not removed its police from the disputed site.
देखिए, बॉर्डर में जो घटना हुई उसके बाद एमएचए ने आदेश दिया असम को कि जो स्थान है वो हम न्यूट्रल फोर्सेस सीआरपीएफ को हैंडओवर करें। मिजोरम सरकार को भी ये कहा गया। हमने तो अपना काम कर दिया। मिजोरम सरकार अभी भी पोस्ट में जो उनके लोग हैं उनको वहां से हटा नहीं रही है और जो पोस्ट हमारे पास था, जिस पोस्ट पे हमारे लोग थे वहां वो हमने सीआरपीएफ को अपने लोगों को हटा करके हैंडओवर किया। बट मिजो पुलिस के लोग अभी भी वहां हैं, जो दुखद है। और मिजोरम को एक चीज समझना चाहिए कि हमको साथ साथ रहना है, मिलजुल करके आगे बढ़ना है। हमारे मुख्यमंत्री बार बार उनको कहते रहे कि ये भूमि का जो सीमा का जो विवाद है उसको हम मिल बैठ करके सलटा सकते हैं, इसमें ऐसा कुछ नहीं और वो तो किसी भी स्थिति तक जाने के लिए तैयार है।
Well, to talk more about this tension and unprecedented tension between two Indian states, we're now joined by the Chief Minister of Mizoram. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to NDTV. Ever since the violence that took place on Monday, the tension has continued between the two states, and now it's reached a point that an advisory is being actually issued by Assam for its Assamese people not to go across to Mizoram, and Mizoram is claiming that there's an economic blockade.
Well, now, you see, during the 24th of this month, we had a meeting there in Shillong of the chief ministers of the 8 states. And then under the chairmanship of Union Home Minister. And then in that meeting we discussed about the border issue. And it was resolved there that the border issue should be settled amicably. And after the meeting was finished, that was on the Saturday, I went home on Sunday, and on Monday, more than 200 Assam policemen, all armed, even with ambulances, crossed the border and run over the outpost, the armed outpost of CRP and Mizoram police. And in the scuffle, there came a problem and firing was there, resulting in the death of 6 Assam policemen, injuring more than 50, and Mizoram also injuring 2 people. This is a very sad incident, and we are really sorry for the death and for the injured. One thing I cannot understand is that after the successful meeting of the Northeastern Chief Ministers under the auspices of the Union Home Minister, why is it that Assam government sent 200 armed police, fully armed, to run over and cross the Mizoram police armed outpost and CRP came? It is a well-known fact that once an armed group is trying to overrun the camp of other armed group, surely there is going to be a trouble, maybe amounting to the firing. And exactly
right, it's been an absolutely shocking, incident, the fact that there's violence between two states. Mizoram claims that it was Assam who opened fire first. What evidence do you have on this regard? Because it was 6 Assamese cops who were killed.
You know, when an armed group tries to overrun the other armed group, there sure is going to be a problem. And there may be accusation and counter-accusation. They fire first. No, it is they who fire first. That's not a big problem, because when they try to overrun another armed group by an armed group, there sure is going to be a fighting. So anyhow, in the fighting, a good number of people died and a lot of people were injured. The strangest things, which I cannot agree, is that after a successful meeting under the Home Minister, why is it that Assam government sent an armed group of 200 people under IGP to cross the border and overrun the other armed group, knowing very well that there is going to be a firing or otherwise? They bring even an ambulance and a lot of armed groups. So,
right, sir, if you can tell us what is being done now, because it's become a very, very ugly situation. You have, Assam issuing an advisory for their people from their state to not go across to Mizoram. You've claimed that there's an economic blockade. What efforts are being made? Are you reaching out to Assam? Is the centre trying to resolve this entire issue?
Yeah, Union Home Minister Amit Shah telephoned me. He telephoned Assam Chief Minister, and the two Chief Secretaries sat together under the chairmanship of the Union Home Secretary and resolved that everything should be settled peacefully. We hope that later on, under the guidance of the Union Home Ministry, we shall be able to resolve this peacefully. But the ugliest part is that I find no justification why, after a successful meeting of all the chief ministers and the Union Home Minister, why sending an armed group to overrun the other armed group across the border? There cannot be any justification.
All right, sir. Mr. Zoramthanga, thank you so much for speaking to us here at NDTV, and hopefully this very, very ugly situation will be resolved very soon.
अभी सिचुएशन में बहुत सा इम्प्रूवमेंट है और दोनों गवर्नमेंट से और होम मिनिस्ट्री से बातें चल रही हैं और सिचुएशन को जल्दी ही रिजोल्व कर दिया जाएगा। बॉर्डर पर अभी शांति है और सीआरपीएफ जो है वहाँ पर डिप्लॉयड है और सीआरपीएफ जो है शांति बहाल करने के प्रयास में काम कर रही है। एमएचए इस पर वर्क कर रहा है कि कैसे जो है एक मिडिल ग्राउंड को पा करके और सिचुएशन को स्टैंड अप को रिजोल्व किया जाए, सिचुएशन को डिफ्यूज किया जाए।